It's like the body. If one part of your body becomes sick, then what happens? Then you start to feel it all throughout your body. You start to feel a fever. And you start to feel sick throughout your whole body if one part of the body is sick. So the same thing with this ummah. As we come together and we truly practice this deen, then that's how we're supposed to feel. When our brothers are getting oppressed, when our brothers are getting trampled on and getting their rights taken away from them, or whatever the case may be, we should all feel the pain and suffering. We should not just feel, and the thing about it is that the people, they only want to wake up when things like Palestine happen, or things like Syria happen, or things like Yemen happen. Why do you only wake up when tragedy strikes? Why can't you wake up before that? Why can't you start practicing? Don't you know that the cure for this and the protection from this is obedience of Allah? So why do you wait until you have a gun in your face and now all of a sudden, la ilaha illallah, now you want to start being all righteous and practicing the deen, and now it's the Quran and Sunnah when what? When Muslims are getting killed. Practice that beforehand. Start the brother. Everything has to be established beforehand. The Prophet ﷺ, he didn't wait till war to establish the deen. He didn't wait till they were in their first, Ghazwat al-Badr to say, okay, now we're going to start practicing. Now we're going to start learning the deen. He was teaching the people Tawheed for 10 years before the Salat was made obligatory upon them. And then he stayed in Mecca, for 3 more years. And it was another 2 more years before they had their first battle. 15 years of learning the deen, of establishing the deen before they went into the first battle. But you wait until all these problems start. Then all of a sudden, everybody wants to come to the masjid. Everybody wants to make dua for Palestine. Where are you the other rest of the year? Where is your deen? In the closet? Somewhere in the pocket somewhere? On the back burner? This is why we're in the situation that we're in. And this is why we live our lives underneath the boots of these kuffar, because of this. I'm not saying go out and be aggressive and go out and act stupid. No, but learn your deen. Practice your deen. Be proud of who you are. You're a Muslim. Don't change your name from Samir to Sam. Don't change your name from Abdul Rahman to Joey. You are who you are. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave you this blessing. And nobody should ever make you feel ashamed of that. The kuffar call you terrorists. The kuffar call you backwards. The kuffar call you whatever they call you. Let them call you that. Then they call the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What did they say to him? Sahir, Majnoon, his own family. Called him crazy. Called him a witch. Called him a sha'ir. Called him a poet. So them insulting you, it means that you're following in the footsteps of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What do you want the kuffar to praise you? So here we live in this country. And our duty as Muslims is to establish this deen for our kids and for all the generations that come after us. Don't be ashamed of that. Don't be ashamed following your desires and hiding who you are, and everybody different, everybody off on their own thing, doing their own thing. We come together, we practice this Quran and the Sunnah, and we set the example for all the society to follow. This society, we set the example of morality. We set the example of righteousness. We set the example of seeking knowledge. Look at society now. Is this what you want your kids to follow into? The dumbest generation? The most immoral generation? Are we going to set the example? Are we going to follow behind them? It's when we stand up and we take the role of leadership and we take control of our communities, of our lives, and we don't put this in the hands of people who don't care about us and don't love us and don't care about the Quran, don't care about the Sunnah. We take responsibility and accountability for ourselves, for our communities and who we are, for our kids. We don't blame anybody else. If anything goes wrong in this community, it's our fault. It's my fault. It's your fault. Your fault. Your fault. All of our fault. Like the Prophet ﷺ said in the hadith, he said, "Man wajada khayran falyahmidillah." Whoever finds good, let him praise Allah. All the good comes from Allah. وَمَنْ وَجَدَ دُونَ ذَلِكَ, and whoever finds anything else other than good, فَلَا يَلُمَّنَّ إِلَى نَفْسُهُ, then he has nobody to blame but himself. وَاللَّهُ الْمُسْتَعَانُ. أَقِيمُ الصَّلَاةَ.